Hey, good morning. Thanks for joining us here at 7:30. I'm Caitlin Nuclo.
And I'm Nicole Nalepa. You are watching Eyewitness News right here on the Wax. We're so happy you're here. We do want to get right over to meteorologist Jill Gilardi for that check of your first alert forecast, because we have a first alert weather day, don't we, Jill?
We sure do. Now, I mean, the majority of the day is going to be fine. It's just we want folks to pay attention to the heat, the humidity, because it can be rough on the body if you're exposed to it for a long period of time. Now, while we don't have an advisory or anything like that in effect, it doesn't mean it's not going to feel hot and be stressful on your body. And then the other threat that we're going to be talking about is the severe thunderstorm development and that possibility for this evening and overnight. So outdoor activities, travel would be impacted. Right now, though, again, it's a beautiful start to the day. No issues out there. Old Saybrook, this is a live view, some high-level clouds. There you can see them on the satellite, but nothing happening on a radar. That will change later on this evening. Temperatures are starting off above average, generally in the low 70s. These numbers will be creeping up along with the dew point temperatures. So while it's borderline pleasant to a little muggy out there, a little uncomfortable, it's going to get increasingly humid throughout today, and that's going to cause that temperature when you step outside to feel like it's in the mid and upper 90s later on this afternoon. So watch out for the heat, the humidity. If you want to go out, go for a jog, do things in the yard, do it before 10 o'clock, before it starts to really become uncomfortable. And then we shift our attention to thunderstorm development coming in from the west, and depending on the exact timing, if these storms roll in, especially across western Connecticut, when it's still light out, you still have a lot more instability. So we would be watching for that possibility of severe storms. Damaging winds would be one of our top threats today. Maybe some hail, but certainly the more widespread impact is going to be some rainfall. So those of you with the garden, we're like, well, we could get hooked up by some rain. That's one positive piece. But we'll show you first alert futurecast and how the day will pan out coming up a little bit later. For now, let's get an update on traffic with Kaylin. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, let's get you an update here on those roads. If you are heading out the door right now, 732, majority of the state in great shape. We're crash and incident free, but we are starting to see some of those delays build, especially down through Fairfield County, 95 southbound here, New Haven to the George Washington Bridge. Rest of the state, we'll start to see some of that congestion build, especially through the capital city region. But right now, majority of that is down through Fairfield County, especially along the Parkway. Again, no crashes, no major incidents to tell you about. That daytime construction work picks up between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. And you can see some minor delays rolling from 91 southbound onto 84, that merge here in Hartford. Live look outside in Middletown, right by the light there along Route 9. In and out of the Mixmaster here in Waterbury, 84 east and westbound, and in Meriden, 691 east and westbound. Things are moving along nicely. I'm Caitlin Francis with your Connecticut Chevy First Alert Traffic Report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
Speaking of updates, we do want to give you an update on that breaking news we've been on top of all morning long in Hartford. We've learned from police that a man in his 40s was shot last night on Albany Avenue. That's why it was closed and they were investigating. Officers found that victim just after 11 o'clock and rushed to that person to the hospital, where we've learned he is expected to be okay. Right now, no word on any suspects.
Happening today in New Haven, hundreds of people's personal information could be compromised after a cyber attack that happened on the New Haven public school system.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Marcy Jones is breaking down all the details for us from New Haven City Hall.
$6 million has been stolen. Right now, the focus is really on the people that have been impacted by this cyber attack, as well as making sure that this never happens again. Now, according to authorities, hackers gained unauthorized access to city email accounts from June 1st to June 18th, 2023. Hackers not only stole $6 million from the school, but also gained access to personal information like social security numbers, financial account numbers, and insurance information. The biggest task now is contacting the 404 former and current New Haven school employees that had their information compromised. New Haven officials stress that so far, no instances of fraud or identity theft from this attack have been reported. The city says that they have sent letters to most of the employees impacted, but do not have contact information for 70 of them.
And so we've been working with law enforcement to try to identify the people that were involved in this and hold them to account. And while we're making progress, these things take a lot of time, but we're really committed to using as much information as possible to bring people to justice.
Now, since the attack on the school, they have hired an outside company to really come in and strengthen their current system. They're also working to recover $5 out of the $6 million that was stolen. In New Haven, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
An arrest has been made in a deadly crash last summer in Woodbury. 25-year-old Isaiah Turner of Ansonia is charged with manslaughter and driving under the influence. Last July, police say he crossed into oncoming traffic on Main Street and slammed head-on right into another vehicle. 56-year-old Robert Gardner was killed in that crash.
Right now, families here in Connecticut are facing some issues trying to put food on the table after an important national program has been delayed. The summer EBT program planned to give an extra $120 per child to certain families. That money was supposed to come in on Monday, but now state officials say it's delayed until early August. More than 468,000 people in Connecticut struggle with hunger. 112,000 of them are children. Luckily, other regular food assistance programs are still running on time.
Well, in time, it's going to feel a lot hotter outside today, so the heat index, how it's going to feel, could get into that mid and upper 90-degree range. So first alert weather day for that and the possibility of severe storms. But once that system moves through, tomorrow morning, the showers will be on the way out. We're trending cooler, less humid, beautiful weather to end the week. The weekend, unfortunately, won't be entirely dry, especially Sunday, and it is going to become very soupy feeling again. So the sweaty weather is back over the weekend and progressing into the forecast for today. Right now, though, it's beautiful. Just saw a gentleman walking along the bridge with his dog. So yeah, now's the time to get out there, take the dog for a walk. You go for a walk, jog, work in the yard because it doesn't feel so bad. Low 70s, upper 60s, and we're going to be feeling hotter though, well into the 90-degree feel range because the dew point temperatures will be climbing into the mid and upper 60s. So a good day to take the kiddos to the splash pad later in the afternoon. Certainly keep an eye out to the sky because again, it's going to become increasingly hot and humid, and there's going to be a chance for those storms popping up. Greater risk though during the evening and overnight hours, of course. So we'll be keeping you posted on that in the coming days. So beyond the first alert weather day for today, tomorrow features morning showers, afternoon sunshine. Look at that, 84, about 10 degrees cooler and becoming less humid. The pick of the next several days is going to be Friday. We're going to start off in the 50s, so it's give the AC a break. Enjoy the bright conditions and highs seasonal, low 80s, upper 70s. Some good stuff. Caitlin, good morning.
Good morning, Jill. Hey, everybody, if you're getting ready to head out the door here this morning looking to catch a flight, everything at Tweed New Haven is on time. So maybe you're doing some business travel. Maybe you have some summer vacation plans. If you're flying a Velo, no problems there. Now, if you're heading to Bradley International Airport in Windsor Locks, 3 delays that have popped up so far on the flight board here this morning. Be sure to check with your air carrier to be on the safe side. But again, 3 delays, no canceled flights. Everything else does appear like it is on schedule, but you want to check ahead before you're leaving the house. As you're getting ready to head out the door here, you can see a live look outside in Hartford, Waterbury, Middletown, and in Meriden. Things are moving along pretty well throughout the majority of the state. Another check on those roads coming up in less than 10. I'm Caitlin Francis with your Connecticut Chevy First Alert Traffic Report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
All right, thanks, Kate. This morning, state lawmakers will be returning to Hartford for a special session. And Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Olivia Schuler breaks down what issues legislators will discuss.
Nicole, in this special session, lawmakers believe there is legislation that needs action taken sooner rather than later. Now, some topics on the agenda are already laws in the state. However, lawmakers believe they need some restructuring. So let's talk to you about what those are. Lawmakers have plans to fix legislation that passed in 2022. It's on what taxes businesses pay on their cars. That change 2 years ago required commercial businesses to pay based on the real estate tax. The change will bring it back to personal property taxes. In turn, this will save businesses money. Lawmakers will also consider legislation that would promote transparency and control state-funded local school construction projects. Governor Ned Lamont, along with Democratic leaders of the State House and Senate, decided on the agenda. Now, there are several other items that are on the agenda, and we have a full list of them on the WFSB News app or on our website. Now, the Connecticut General Assembly special session is today and tomorrow. In Hartford, Olivia Schuler, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks, Olivia. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange is a free man after pleading guilty to a single felony charge for publishing U.S. military secrets. The plea is part of a deal with the Justice Department that secures his freedom and ends a long legal battle. Assange appeared in a federal courthouse in the Northern Mariana Islands, which is a U.S. Commonwealth in the Pacific, and he returned home to Australia this morning.